certain things that actually bring up the accent of the climate change. Like for example, the ice cube lah, the ocean lah, whatever you created lah, it will not be disappeared, but it will go somewhere else, which is on the ocean. And what happened to the ocean side? Then you have less fish. That's why ikan bilis tak ada lagi. Okay, Jinong is not here. If Jinong is here, I can let you tell you the story about this ikan bilis industry in Malaysia. Very long story. So that is happening around, content within the Malaysia, that for example, flood happening, weather getting hotter, why you cannot find this fish anymore, ikan bilis getting more expensive, and all these things is happening. This is all because of the scenario behind the scene that is happening around this environment. Okay, and then another point is just now I keep on mentioning the cyclone effect, which is actually making the whole process actually accelerate even faster. If you produce more industries, like you keep on producing more, then it go back and then come back again and again and again. It's going even faster. But at the end of the day, you have this scorecard. And this scorecard is actually interlinked. If you can see this particular one, if you draw it, if you put it this way and put it in the format that I think, it is actually interlinked to each other. Okay? So the main point here is actually number one. The first set is about human activities. That's why it all circulated by human activity. What we want. We want the industry. Why we want industry? We want this, we want that, all this is human. The second is tell you about whatever we want, it actually create greenhouse effect. And the point here is additional greenhouse effects. Okay? So the second one is mainly the greenhouse effect. The third one is actually the marine acidification that I already told you just now, the ikan bilis, remember? Okay, easy to remember. Then the fourth one is the impact on the planet, the heat lah, the water lah, the cycle lah, the agricultural things are all happening around this set of cards. Okay. Then the last one is the impact on the people, which is very happening right now, right? It's getting much more obvious in this phase of environment. Okay? Yes, already started. So now, because of this workshop, maybe you all are very positive, or because of being positive. So there is a requirement for emotional debrief. Because after you taking all this, some people will feel very sad. Why I'm not doing this? Why is this happening? The world is going to collapse. Everything happens by the human. Let's destroy the human. So we are not going that way, okay? That's why we wanted to do also this kind of debriefing on this emotional part. So the next slide is actually because of this whole exercise, how you feel. Yes, I know the time is catching up, so you have to stand up a bit and running. I need you to read the quadrant. Where are you at this moment based on what are your feeling or whatever? Are you very joyful? Are you very sad, angry? You are very energized to do something? Or you feel yourself very powerless after all this exercise? So, joyful. Sorry, this like this stand up. Stand. Joyful, sad, angry, powerless, energized. You can stand anywhere. You can stand in the middle. Because you might not be very sad, right? You can be a little bit sad, a little bit joyful. No, that? This group inside here? Neutral in what sense of word? Still confused. Okay, the one with the eco-friendly.
Usually powerless. Little bit sad. Powerless.
Powerless also. Can I know how many of you are energized with this exercise? Powerless? So can me. Okay, after I explain something, you must be energized already. Okay, memory strategy. Okay, thank you.
I need fun photo.
So don't feel bad, because you can do something, okay? So now the wording started. All the facts, not facts, all the presentation in this hour will start now. Okay. So what is Paris Agreement? Oh, everybody know,
Our Malaysia
Yes.
already signed this agreement.
Yes. What is it about?
Then we have to follow it.
Yes, it's actually the commitment of the country to reduce the CO2. Because if no country involved, then the whole thing will not work. Okay? And at this moment until today, every country already signed, which means they are legally binded to do this together, except 3 countries.
Russia. North Korea.
Yes, North Korea. Iran. Another one I don't know, very difficult to pronounce.
Pakistan.
No, Kazakhstan no. Kazakhstan I can spell and I can pronounce. Another country which I do not know, but now there's 3 has not signed, but they actually joined the discussion as of today. But the rest of other country, you find the map, they already signed this deal, and this deal is to reduce the CO2 emission, which also included the GHG. Because as I said already, the GHG is actually the actual gases, but it actually can be benchmarked as a CO2 emission. Okay, so they all signed already to reduce this, and what will be the actual? I don't want to show you the video anymore because I think it's too boring. You just can do YouTube and try to find out what is the Paris Agreement. So by 2030, we have to reduce the carbon emission by 40%. Okay, by 20, I can't remember, 20 something. Net zero. 2050. 2050 is net zero. Net zero means, does not mean we don't produce carbon dioxide, CO2. Net zero means you compensate, offset by something else. So that's why in this economical environment, you can hear people saying trade of CO2, trading is going to happening very soon, because if I produce a lot of CO2, I need to offset, so I buy someone who actually do not produce. So the standard is there. So it's like trading, share market, like Bitcoin, all this thing. It's going to have a platform to do this kind of trading. So, but this kind of trading, a lot of countries have to involve, the government have to involve, the rules have to set. So all these, just now Roland has shared, MIDI, all these agency of the government are discussing and sharing what we need to do about this. Because today, this year is 2024. We only have 6 years, less than 6 years time to go for 2030. And the commitment is 40% reduction of CO2. You can say easy to achieve if everybody just don't think about price, just change things. But imagine how long is our lead time of machine, all this thing is going to be at least 2-3 years time. So to change, you are talking about everything change also. It can be possible, but it's tough. 2030. By 2050 is net zero, which means all the platforms have to be ready for all this trading and all this calculation and stuff like that. So this is something to take in mind. So can you guess how many degrees separated ice each climate and the climate we know today? Ice each climate and the climate we know today. It's 5 degrees cooler than today. But I can tell you this kind of degree is different from the aircon degree. So it does not count, it's not the same level of measurement. Okay, 5 degrees is actually a lot compared to the aircon. Let me give you an example. Okay, 2 or 3 degrees of warming for a climate is already very huge. That was the study that they say 2 to 3 is already very huge, which means from IH to now is 5 degrees, right? So you can imagine, you can't even see you see now it's all covered by ice, but it's only 5 degrees. You look at the world map, the satellite map today, you don't see that white color anymore. But the difference is only 5 degrees. So 2 to 3 already make a very big difference around to the world. Okay. Next one. Who is the biggest CO2 emitter? Yes. China is the best. China is the best. But this one is Malaysia. China, this is China. China, United. Okay, this one I have to explain a little bit. You see, when we do measurement, then they start to get kiasu. They don't go by country. They don't go by country. They go by capital. Which means what? Population. So, how many population? How big is my land? So, there's a different measurement. Okay, when you have measurement, they will go details. Okay, these are the graph for this country and per capita. Let me see. Yeah, country is China, the capital is by United States. I guess this measurement is because of these 2 countries. Okay, then here are what are those countries that is near us. I only can find this. You could find more in the internet, but this is what. Malaysia is so quiet. I think this one is by country, not by capital. Yeah, it's by country, not by capital. And even further, they now define it by what? Export and original CO2 emission. Why? Like Singapore. Singapore, they don't have that. The population is very little, but they have a lot of import, which they buy from those countries that generate a lot of CO2. So they also now calculate the consumption of CO2 emission. Very complicated. I study a little bit of it. That's all I can tell you. Because it's complicated. But I wanted to let you know they are looking into very serious calculation on each country responsible to make sure this is happening. Why? Because Singapore is very easy to achieve. But if they purchase everything from a country to generate the most CO2 and never control the supply chain, nothing will happen. So Singapore as a country who import a lot of things, they will have to make sure the supply chain also comply. So that when the consumption it is, they also make impactful on the environment. So this is why they started to look into all this field. So the whole idea is actually all countries, especially those that is already in the advanced stage of sustainability, they are looking into such a way already. Okay? Then next one is I already explained during the workshop about these GHG gases, the impact. So CO2 emission is the baseline, but the rest of other gases is even much more impactful. So you can see methane 25, nitrous oxide 300. Then this one what? This one's forest gas. This one I showed you already. ADP X switchgear, CF6, SF6. Sorry, yes, contribute a lot, but we don't have this kind of switchgear anymore. But as I explained also, the aircon that we use daily, now here all the gases inside is also higher than carbon CO2. It's also higher than CO2, but I don't know the number one because it's depending on the gases which you use aircon users if you can. Okay. So this is the carbon footprint of Malaysia and nearby country. This is year 2022. Okay. So you can see it's still going up. So the whole idea of this graph is to tell you that no matter how much awareness we are doing, the trend is still going up. So that's very sad, Okay? So we have to make sure we accelerate like the cyclone to make sure our customer change. Okay? Because if not, I cannot answer this question, see, what should be the carbon footprint in 2050? Based on the previous graph, you're not going anywhere. You just keep on going up only up slowly. If not, it will up all the way. Now it's only up slowly, but it's not down going. But Europe is already showing sign of reduction, a little bit of reduction. But how much more they are doing, a lot more. Okay. Then now we go for way how we can reduce CO2 emission. So these are the 3 key pillars of ABP sustainable strategy. First one, decarbonization. So in this particular content, use renewable energy instead of fossil fuel. Number 2, efficiency. Use less energy for providing the same number of product and service. Number 3, sufficiency. This is a new word. Sufficiency means you rethink what you produce and consume to use and waste less. You get the point? Sufficiency, because I'm going to have a quiz later. Quiz. Okay? Decarbonization is what? Renewable energy. Okay? Efficiency, use less energy. Sufficiency is don't change your iPhone, because you reuse it longer. Okay? Reuse it. Now I want to do quiz. 1 is like that. If you choose 2, it's like that. If you choose 3, it's like that. Okay? Decarbonization number 1. Efficiency number 2. Sufficiency is number 3. Okay. Install solar panel on factory roof. Very obvious, Heat insulated building. Ask you why is this decarbonized? Yes, number 2. Yes. Wind turbine. Wind turbine is renewable energy. Wind turbine is renewable energy. Yes, renewable. Electric car. Very arguable. Yeah.
Not really sure.
Electric car is a little bit arguable. So this one is supposed to try to create the thoughts of electric cars. Okay? Make a computer or smartphone last longer. Very obvious is 3. Okay? Don't complain, don't change your laptop. Eat less reading. Sorry?
Oh, yeah, last time is 5 years we check that out. Now 3 years. So long.
Less meat. This one also I also.
Very
Okay. The whole idea to tell you this particular quiz is every little thing you do, whether it's from the big one, wind turbine, hydropower, down to your diet, it's contribute to this whole thing of environmental impact. Okay? This is the point of it. Every little thing you think of, it actually impacts the environment. Okay? So this one is very ABB. So how to reduce CO2 emission is again decarbonization, efficiency, sufficiency. Okay? So these are all where it goes. Decarbonization, we are talking about wind turbine, lesser fossil fuel use. Then efficiency, this is very related to motion, motor, drive, and smart sensor. this one. So remember, when you talk to customer motion, correct? Efficiency, use less energy. How? Higher efficiency model. Use less consumption. Okay? And then try to tell them we ABB actually adopt this energy efficiency movement. Inside the portal, there's a lot of example what other country has done in the industry that actually move this particular efficiency. Okay? Then the last one is efficiency. ABB also looking into this, and one of the strategy or action that Motion is doing is the circularity. If you attended Narayanan presentation this morning, he talks about this circularity, and ABB from the Motion point of view are looking into this and trying to build out a business approach for this particular section. So for example, recycle model, they work with a third party and do the recycle and calculate and something like that, and then make a business proposal together with the customer. So which means like Hopa, they recycle all the models, supply the high efficiency, but how do we recycle these particular models? Yeah, something like that. So it's already started this, and the pilot country is in France, Finland, I think in Germany also, but not in Malaysia. But in my section with Embassy of Sweden, there is one recycle company CEO named Rosie. I cannot remember the name of the company, but I remember the name of one because when I present this, she showed interest on that. So that is how we want to approach to the customer and see where's the opportunity. We just bring up the case to the management to think how we can move about. So new trend, new way of working, new way of breakthrough to make sure this is impactful to the environment. Okay? Okay, no break, This is the video, but I don't want to show you the video. I just want to explain this particular. I don't know how you call this. What you call this? Infinity. Oh, I just thought about 8 only. Okay, infinity. So ABB actually embedded under this infinity way. So we pledge to enable a low carbon society. We promote social progress, which means impactful in the society, and we also preserve resources. Preserve resources here is the sufficiency idea. The circularity idea is not here. Okay? With these 3 pillars, okay, we are doing it with integrity and transparency. Okay, so this is how it actually means under the purpose. Okay, I think this one a lot of presentation or conference we have been hearing it already. Okay, now this one, the UN Sustainable Development Goal. There's a lot of action here, including clean energy, work and economic growth, industry innovation in infrastructure, and climate action on cutting the CO2 commitment. So ABB supported the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. So they focus on these 4 areas. You see 7, 8, 9, 13. There are actually a lot of other framework, but ABB is focusing on these few particular topics under the UN Sustainable Energy. So you can see this is more related to where our industry is in. Okay. The next one is ABB ESG rating, performance recognition. So this one I cut short it a little bit, just to drill down into ABB products. So ABB products has started to label our product with this environmental product declaration. Okay, and how we actually do it, it goes all the way to the supply chain of material that contribute to making this model itself. So later I will show you the requirement of scope 1, scope 2, scope 3, you'll be hearing everywhere. Huh? This is how it's happening here. So in order to have this sticker in the product itself, you need a group of environmentalists to study what are the things that need to be tracked in order to qualify under this environment. And I'm fortunate, also Mala as well, that we went to Sweden to have this training, and then there is a group of graduate trainees from the environmental industry that actually came to the workshop to tell us what actually they did in order to comply to this. So it's a very lengthy works to do, and also a lot of registration and documentation required, and test report and all these things. We are all engineers. We used to do test report, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 5, all this, nothing to us. But environmentalists, you have the element of what to comply, what are the areas you have. So this group of environmentalists was being hired or funded or sponsored by ABB in Sweden to do all this work. Okay? Just to tell you, this is not an easy job, but it's a very complicated job. I think ABB is one, Schneider also there for dry product. And then Siemens not there yet, I didn't see it. The others product I don't know. I only know motor and drive at this moment. So I think this one is, you need to explain too much because it's the same thing. Just to tell you the hierarchy of all these responsible by who and who and who until this level. So you can see ABB as a group level, the board of directors have the responsible or KPI to achieve this. Because why? The government already wanted to do it. If you are hired by ABB and you are not doing it, why I need to hire you? So same thing as I tell you. If you don't sell high efficiency motor, you are not helping. You are not helping. You are not helping them to achieve. So they have to do it, right? If you don't do it, it's a bye-bye already. The whole thing. That's how I wanted to relate it to you. From the country, the world to the country to the company CEO, all the way down to you. Sell high efficiency model. Okay? Okay, this slide is to show you. This is very motion. MODP, MOSD, MOTR, these are all the divisions of motion have. And you can see all the name has been put in there, and they are being measured by this KPI. So in their scorecard, I was told, in their scorecard, there is element of sustainability. So that's why in our scorecard, there is element of sustainability as well, which is sell high efficiency. So it goes all the way. Aside the product selling, they also have the responsible to make sure the factory is also net zero carbon. Okay, and I am also proud to say that for MOLM Finland factory, it is already net zero. Yeah, Finland factory, it's already net zero, which means they actually compensate with the rest of other things that making it net zero through the supply chain as well. That's why sometimes we have this difficulty of raw material shortage. This is happening because we select our vendor. If they are not compliant, we cannot put the label there. So this is also why I'm trying to explain to accommodate this kind of changes when there is this thing. So you have to ask factory why you are short this or this, why you delay delivery and all this bring plum happening around. So this is the story behind that. Okay, I think this one I don't need to mention. It's very typical. Sustainability, like electrical motion, business impact, responsibility, and what we can do. Again, the three things: efficiency, decarbonization, and sufficiency/circularity. Okay, so we enable carbon society. As I said already, the gases here is already very clear. Here is what I wanted to tell you: scope 1, scope 2, scope 3. This one is not created by ABB. It's a measurement from NGO. How do they define scope 1? How do they define scope 2 and scope 3? Scope 1 is direct emission from your own factory. That is how in ABB's content. Scope 1. Scope 2 is indirect emission from electric and district heat used by ABB, which is our customer. Scope 3 is the upstream and downstream emission. This is where the supply chain is. That's why we are, some of the factory already looking into scope 3. We also need to look into the scope 3. For example, logistics. is a very problematic one and a very big and messy scope to look into. And even now, the factory also cannot really define, categorize this tree in the logistic environment. Okay? So now, when you understand this scope 1, 2, 3 from ABB point, then you stand on customer point of view. For example, Intel, which is actually wanted to do scope 1, scope 2, post 3. So in a way, Intel wanted to do scope 2, but we are wanted to do scope 1, but we are their scope 2. You can see the linkage. So they want to do scope 1, we are at their 2. So you see the opportunity from that point of view. Okay, so this slide is like this. So this is the standard that I mentioned just now. Net zero target and avoid emission, and you can see by 2030 is scope 1 is 80%, by 2030 100% by 2025. Scope 3 is defined, avoided emission also has been defined. So these are the target has been discussed and continuous developed during the discussion or whatever conference they have in the UN. Okay, so this one is again enable low carbon, already defined scope 1, scope 2, what are the things need to be done. Preserve resources, zero waste to landfill, also has been defined, 80% recyclable product, promoting social progress is all this lost time, women in senior management, top tier employee engagement. So these are the 3 pillars or the infinity that we are promoting. So I don't have to explain more, I just show you all of that. Okay, so scope 1 and 2, operation ABB, operation aiming at net zero, 80% emission reduction 2030, 100% emission reduction by 2050. The bottom one is all the definition where you can see from the Google. I cannot remember using. You remember? No. Okay, sure. The EER, EV,
Electrical vehicles.
No, I don't think it's EV something. It's something else already. I cannot remember, but not so linked to us lah. But it somehow defines something for this scope 1 and scope 2. And then scope 3, as I mentioned, is either on the upstream and the downstream side. Okay. So on the upstream side, it's mainly on the transportation, distribution, purchase group services, vendor, traveling, commuting. That's why inside the ABB travel bottle, you can see when you book a flight, there is the CO2 emission things inside there, because this is also preparing us to calculate the whole as a group level, what is your emission. So that's why not say that's why there's a little bit of a legislation on traveling. Okay. Scope 3 is on the customer side. This is where we play our part as a sales or as a front end here. We want to make sure our customer also achieve this environmental impact. Okay. Okay, I think this one is the same thing already. Same logic that I already mentioned, because customer scope 1 is our scope 2. Okay? Customer scope 1 is our scope 2. So when you mention this scope, customer will automatically know, especially those MNC customer. So we will help them to provide a solution for them to achieve this sustainability target of their own company. Okay? So this slide also similar. OEM, customer, supplier is all the same. So this one, focusing on energy efficiency movement. When you start the discussion with the customer, always start with electrical motor consume 45% of the world electricity, which means including your plant. The motor actually consumes the most energy. When we talk about energy behind from the exercise, you know, fossil fuel, all these are coming in. So you have to start this conversation with the customer. Electrical motor that you are buying will actually determine your sustainability target in one way or the other. Okay? Then we estimated by 2040, the number of motor will double. Why? Because population increase. Everybody wants a lot of things. So things are building up. So when things are building up, anything move require motors. So definitely the motor will continue to increase, not to say you are replacing something else as well. So it will continue, okay? We won't be able to stop it, okay? Then only around 20% of the world electric motor are controlled by drive. Because there's a lot of direct online or last time they just do direct online without taking care. So nobody observed the process of the application. For example, open the tap. You don't, it's a pipe water treatment plant. So last time they use open morning, then nighttime, continue flow. But actually the consumption do not require so many. You use the drive to control it in one way. But when to control, you need automation. You need a lot of other monitoring. And that's why all this industry is coming here to see what will be the optimum solution for your process. So that's why all these elements will come in. Soft starter, drive, all these things is coming. So quicker way is actually switching high efficiency motor and letting drive can make a difference already. Okay? Especially CRM, motor and drive. Okay? Next. This one is again circularity. This one is very new to us. I don't want to explain more in this Malaysia context because we don't do that advanced because we are still in the energy efficiency level yet. So that's why circularity, I just give you a brief idea what actually is the framework about, is to help customer to recycle the design, the resourcing, and optimize the use of the product itself, responsible the end of life, which is recycling, and circular business model. So which means we adopt this contract, for example, if this one is already end of life, what we're gonna do. So these are the things that actually is new approach to our customer. Okay? So these are circularity and mainly will be on the MOSC side. Okay? Then this one is promote social progress. I guess this one I don't have to mention more. It's already embedded in all ABB. Health and safety, diversity and inclusion, very popular topic. Community engagement, I guess this is mainly what we are doing, especially from HR side. We empower community, or we do partnership with university last time, but now maybe we overrun on that one. Human rights is actually another one which already in discussion, but we don't emphasize so much here in Malaysia. But our Narayana is actually a champion for human rights in the region. So this topic is a little bit complicated on the supply chain. I think Joyce will encounter a lot of discussion there because in Malaysia we have a lot of foreign worker, and some of the factory they hold a passport, and that's not comply to this. So this is also a little bit of discussion, and also in Indonesia or in China, this was bringing a lot of discussion. But in Malaysia context, so far we are in Malaysia, ADB is okay, but when you up to the vendor, that's where the complicated discussion is about. Okay, so this is on the social progress. Okay, don't want to mention too much here. Okay, sustainability, focus, commitment. I think this one is a focus area where we are doing. Now very popular topic. So we sell energy efficiency since 10 years. So what has changed? We always have price one. Why you say price change? Price change, yes, but we've been selling also with the price. So what is the changes? True policy change because they require this. Yes, correct. The requirement change. Anything else? Yes, technology change also. CEO change or not change? There are no comment. No comment on that. I think it's because maybe the context has been changed. Just like what you have already mentioned. The requirement has changed, the technology has changed. Most important thing is actually its impact the world already, what we are doing. So So these are the few points where we actually mention the macro trend has changed. Urbanization, automation, rising of living standard, everybody needs this and need that. The demand of energy, it's changed. Energy crisis, resources scarcity, which means you no longer have this and that, is changed. ESG, responsible pressure, investor, one of the examples that when I went to Sweden they give me is, there are specific investor requested that this particular company I invest have to comply certain requirement on sustainability. So when the investor wanted to do that, then the whole company needs to choose the policy. So for example, one day, Benny, eco-friendly girlfriend, come and big investor. So he would definitely wanted to invest only in the company that actually looking into eco-friendly company, right? So that actually has the biggest pressure, and in ABB, I don't know the new CEO yet, so not so sure, cannot comment. But other CEO, for example, like the young generation one, they actually looking into this for investment. Must look into sustainability. New standard, already say legislation, all this will come in. New market trend, because they are reaching out to reduce the CO2 carbon, and also employee branding. More and more talent wanted to work in a company that looking into sustainability. So for example, if you ask your kids, they will say, why you do this, why you do this, why you don't do this. When they grow up into working force, this will come. They will not agree with the company and they will just voice out, it's wrong. Okay? So these are the contexts that's been changing. So practical step that you can do is on this. I will share this particular slide, so I don't need to explain too much of that. And then we don't have break. So I supposed to do risk and opportunity here, but in terms of what's the time? 4:30. So I will do it in a bigger group of setting. So maybe you can tell me, maybe here you can give me 3 risks, and here you can give me 3 opportunities, or maybe 2 and 2. I will focus on the risk first. What will you see actually the risk exposure for this climate change? Yeah? The faster you respond to me, the faster you can go home. If not, we will just wait. Okay? Risk that the company may be exposed to due to climate change effect. For example, resources shortage, or should we not implement a sustainable transition in line with the rest of the world? Yeah? What are those risks that you can think of? If we don't do anything, what are the risks? You lost the market share. Yeah, definitely, that's a very good point. Just not really share. Yes, correct. Reputation is actually very obvious. Yeah, for example, Simon Dada Sana, I keep on mentioning to my students. This is your reputation. Maybe they have to do something I don't know, because it's not globally being published. So if my company is doing it, I will keep on telling until everybody know. But Simon, I don't see anyone is doing this. But Schneider is. Our ex-colleagues there is always pushing this sustainability. Okay? Yes. Reputation, share price could be dropped. Anything else? What's the risk of the company in ABB?
Can have disruption in the supply chain.
Yeah, disruption in the supply chain also is one big risk that the business is looking at. Very big risk. If you don't have that in mind, then it's a very big risk for the business itself to continue. One more from that group.
Reputation.
Already mentioned. Yes, compliance is one things where the rules is set, then you need to comply. Okay, you help them already. Okay, opportunity.
New market share.
I was just about to tell you Yes, attract talents, there's another one.
Increase the branding, etc.
Increase the branding, yes, keeping your own branding there, sustainability. One more.
Have more fun event in R&D.
More fun event in R&D, what is it?
New technology.
New technology.
More money.
More money to spend on technology instead.
Increase competitive advantage.
Yeah, correct. With that technology, then you increase the competitiveness, then your EBITDA will go up, our share buy already, we can have dividend, then more share buyback. All these are linking up together, you know. Whatever little thing you do, it's actually linked up, but maybe it's a little bit slower for me, okay? So key takeaway. So these are the few key takeaways. I think again is the complexity of the climate. Sustainability is very clear in MEB, especially in motion. I don't know about robotic. Is there anything on that?
It's coming. No, definitely it's there, but it's not as advanced as emotion.
Yes, I have to say in motion, they are taking this a little bit faster step compared to others. I think the second one is the EL. EL is also coming in like this. They actually separate another kind of group to hit all this movement to go. Like for example, we are double. It's just like me, I'm double heading on this one. So it doesn't pay me extra, but it actually get me to get interest to continue working in me. It's my personal, yeah, continue working in me. Because if you just sell, buy, manage, it's no meaning. But when these kind of things come in, when you pick it up, you feel that thing is doing something into the world or whatever you are doing, it helps a little bit. Okay, so it's balance up my thoughts. This one. So key takeaway also, pressure from customer also increasing. So look out for those customers actually have this, especially the blue chip company. In the MEB Malaysia, sorry, not in the MEB Malaysia, in Malaysia itself, I think by end of this year, all the Pusa Malaysia company, they have to report this carbon emission in their annual report. The Pusa Malaysia main board. So they have to put this into their annual report. So in one way, for example, those press letter all this, they have to comply, and in fact they already have to comply. But what are the elements they pick up is very easy. Solar panel. This is the first step they do. Solar panel. Immediately they, yeah, correct. But you have to tell them electrical motor inside their plant actually contribute the most. And by changing it, they save their energy bill. No need, because I'm not sure whether coming soon or not, the TNB will increase the tariff of the industry as well. They are already in discussion, but they are holding back. I don't know why. So this is also one thing that pushing them to do. Maybe Petronas is not doing the decarbonization yet as far, so that's why it's still in a balanced scenario. So customer is looking for guidance, that's very obvious. Energy efficiency again, motor drive, okay? It's an opportunity for us, and then also discount reinforce that. Okay? So how are you going to make a difference? 1, 2, 3.
Invite customer to attend this kind of training.
Start doing it, okay? Don't stop doing it. Just keep doing it, okay? That's what I'm doing. Yes, I know everybody is busy. Whenever you have conversation, just like me, anyhow, motor and drive, anyhow, scenario motor. You pick up those things and just tell them, put them inside their mind, because you are much more closer with the customer compared to me. Okay, so you are reaching them more closer. So if you talk more, they will tell you more, and you can just keep a positive mindset. Don't insist. Just continue injecting. One way or the other, you will change better, hopefully. So I think that's Yeah, I think so far that's it for this whole workshop. But before I close, I wanted to hear from you all. What do you think you can do to impact this? I changed my question. What can you do practically? Still work at home. Think of something that actually you can do, not just within ABB. ABB, I already show you a lot of examples. Motto and like higher efficiency. Alright? But what actually other things you can do to make this happen? Very little small thing. Think out of ABB context or things out of ABB environment. What you can do? Recycle is very common already. I want to level up the standard.
Try to use public transportation. Try to use.
When you tell about try to use as personal, right? But a little bit more power that you can use. How you can influence that? Why people don't use public transportation?
First, very hard to get parking.
Yeah.
Yes. So infrastructure. And then others.
But yeah,
Connectivity.
it's a poor infrastructures. Respectfully disagree. It's actually depends on what time of the day. Most of the LRT stations they have an MRT. They have quite a fairly big parking location nearby.
It's actually depending on the station itself.
Yeah, because at my nearby my house station, even though on the weekends, people still park at the side of the road, not in the market.
I think that one is a Malaysian culture.
You don't want to park.
I understand. So this is one of
The board, why everyone park along the street?
So this is one of the hindrance for you to use transportation, which is contribute to the eco-friendly action, right? So these are one of the hindrance. So when you have this hindrance, what are the improvement you can do when you don't have the parking? Typically you carpool or you walk to the nearest station, correct? This is one example of the hindrance. Any other example? Think beyond your own generation.
Educate the kids
Yes.
from today.
The younger generation. How you educate?
From our takeaway, then we just share them.
What you will take away?
Eco-friendly and non-eco-friendly action.
Good ice breaking. Good ice breaking. If you do it every day, ask them today. What is your eco-friendly action you did? But try not to do the non-eco because it amplifies that. So you amplify the eco-friendly action. Every day you ask one question, or maybe weekly you ask one question. What is the eco-friendly thing you do? So these are the little things that you can educate to younger generation. In fact, this particular workshop also have a kid version as well. Yeah.
Kid?
Yes, a kid version. So I have it also here. So those who are interested to hire me to go to their community. It can be done also. I have not done before the kid version. So I'm not so sure. But let's say really we have like a pool or during family day, we can have this also in whatever contest of ABB because it's all that can be done in a group of few kids or something like that. This is also one action you can do. Right? Any others? Don't think about young generation. We have elder generation also.
Cannot be the argument.
I kind of like disagree, cannot say because elder generation there's still a way to educate them as well. Yeah. Any things?
Lead by example, walk the talk, right?
Yes. Correct. So for example, I'm being walk the talk by my husband. Go to the grocery because I refuse to do that. So he started that like maybe 1 month. Then I feel guilty. Then I follow. Then after I follow, then it becomes permanent. So walk the talk, yeah, this is one example, walk the talk, yes. And also taking LRT and all these things. Yes.
Can I add one thing? What we can all do immediately over the next 1 month is to focus on the energy efficiency movement. You have heard about it? So one immediate action you can take is make a commitment over the next 3 months or 1 month. You will bring in one member to be part of it. Huh? One member. One member.
You know, we have this energy efficiency movement.
Customer. Yeah.
Now, this is very ABB commitment. I know, we want to go for it. Before I go to that part, yes. One of it is actually you can do is pledge to yourself to bring at least one customer to register to this energy efficiency movement. Aside register, you have to follow up. They actually did the action. Don't just register, because I can see people register, but they don't actually do the action. So you have to go one step further to follow up with them. After they register there, what actually they did. So go a step further. It's not very hard, just use mouth and ask them, right? If they don't do, you cannot, but you continue telling feedback and all these things to them. So yeah, these are one thing like Mama said, within 1 month time you can do this thing. So anything else? Okay, now put in ABB contacts. Anything else you can think of? Maybe not so much on the sales, now I'm targeting the controller. Yeah, ABB, because others you will not, it's very easy. We got to see controller, how some controller can support.
Keep on.
How do you calculate the savings for every actions you do?
I was about to request can you sign a low margin order for sustainability team orders? So cost saving is also one thing where our controller can contribute also to let us aware what we are doing actually real financial benefit to the company. Okay then,
Because of what he said, then we reward people of what people are doing.
Yes, reward actually motivate, just like Megan. You do it because there's a reward. No, Emily, you just do it because of reward. It's also something that encourage the ABB to work toward this goal.
Supply chain will encourage the suppliers to actually compete. But actually, we do have the sustainability development program, and there are actually a lot of questions there that relates to a lot of human rights and labor rights.
But can you share, actually I'm quite curious also, on supply chain, do you see that there is actually the urge from our vendor, they actually wanted to go for this?
That is my current challenge, because local mindset in Malaysian context, they do not want this ESG. To them, it's just iron, another set of questions. And they are just like, do we have to do it to engage with ABB? So that's a challenge that all of us locally here in Malaysia need to push.
Yes. Okay. So this is also one reason why we need to make the circle rounded, because the more the industry is talking, the easier the supply chain will push in to follow in the industry. Right? Yeah. Because if the rest of the other industry is not doing the talking or the action, the whole thing will not move. It will not move. If we always talk about Malaysia government don't change the policy lah, or let's say they don't care one lah. All this motor how to do? Who going to take all this motor? But if no one is stepping one out to do this action, nothing will happen. It will still continue circling around. I don't have the money. Sustainability is not cheap. That's why I asked one of the questions of Fariza. He said he buy all the high efficiency or efficient appliances, right? It's not cheap. You cannot be cheap. You have to pay more. Yeah, you can get it. But it's not cheap. Your capital investment is there. our high efficiency motor and investment, you calculate, alright. It's not cheap, but eventually it comes back to you also. So it's still something. Normala, you have anything else to share?
Yeah, just one thing. For those of you who are parents with school-going kids, I think when schools have career days, you can volunteer and you can talk about sustainability and what the ADB does. That's one. And the other part of it is there are mentors for the Yekan Dorman Scholarship who are in this room today. Alright? So this is an opportunity for you to involve your mentees in creating awareness about energy efficiency and sustainability. Because I don't think there's an opportunity to do that, and through this workshop, I think we can have one for the scholars, so that, at the end of the day, in terms of how we make progress, not only depends on what we do today, but also in terms of what we invest in those engineers, future engineers who are in the university today. If they know more about energy efficiency, when they come up with it, and they are familiar with the ABB brand, so later when they join the workforce, they become our customers, or they work for us, it will create opportunities for us in terms of good for business and also good for life. How does it sound?
Any more questions related to this context or cost? Anything to ask about this card thing?
Do we need to put it back in the set of files?
No need. You just don't take away my card. I will handle the rest of it. If you have any questions, you can always come back to me, or if you want more information related to this particular course, you can also come back to me. You know, as your address and everything. So I have sent out the feedback form. Just fill out the feedback form. It's a very simple feedback form for me to review myself. Okay, this slide, the balance of the slide, while you're putting it, the balance of the slide is mainly to tell you where can we find all this information about sustainability, okay? Sustainability Strategy 2030 in the annual report, then the EVA what is ESG MVP certified product, ESG data information, efficiency movement is very related to motion team. Then the rest of the sustainability motion presentation slide. So whenever you think you want to present something to the customers, pick up from here. Then some of the article you can pick up. This one is provided generally from the group level. So these are the things that you can pick up and read about it. I will send this slide to all the participants. Okay?
One question, the children one, the one you said, the kids one.
Next time, please QR code.
It will be a simple version of this particular workshop, but it will not be 4 hours. The 4 hours why is because I need to mention also related to the number of text inside. So that's why it's making 4 hours. And also to comply with the Yes. Yes. They want to do this. You mean sustainability or this workshop?
Sustainability or also this kind of workshop, similar workshop, talking about this.
Okay, sustainability is because of this climate change issue. Okay, when we come up with the sustainability from the customer point, it means they have to do something. So it's like the government or company itself. So when I say Usaha market share, those who listed on the main board, by year end they have to have themselves under the report also is the compliances to be on the main block of the foundation. So then what about the rest of the company? Because of the nature of what the rest of the company also need to so this workshop is just one tool to make awareness, one section or one